Good evening, all of you. So today we will be cover about the topic on the most important, how to crack any guesstimate interview. So it's a very interesting topic and you must attend this topic, and definitely you will learn a lot on this agenda. So let's start our session now. So in this session, we will talk about what is guesstimate and why guesstimate is required. What is the guesstimate solving approach? What are the tips and tricks are involved here? And then what important figures you need to remember in order to crack any guesstimate interview, and followed by we will solve the live guesstimate in this session. And at the end, I will share you the resources which you can refer and master to crack in any guesstimate interview. So let's start now. So what is a guesstimate? A $1 million question. Guesstimate is composed of two different words which has been stitched together. Guess and estimate. Means you have to estimate certain thing or amount by making a guess or approximation. So it is an approximate calculation of the size of amount of something when you don't know anything about of that quantity. Means you need to arrive at certain number when you don't know its value. Where are these guesstimates used? This guesstimate is a powerful tool which is being used in all the marketing research and data analytics algorithms and other approximations when companies are making a decision. And all the consulting firms are using guesstimate as an important tool to evaluate the structured problem solving skills and critical thinking skills. Guesstimates is very, very important to judge the students or candidate structured thinking approach, analytical thinking, and great communication skills. And it will help to judge the candidate how they are going to structure the problem and how they can come at a number which is very close to the approximation. Sounds interesting? Let's see how you can start solving the guesstimates. So here are the following tips and tricks involved. There are 4 levels involved in solving the guesstimate. First is you have to understand the question, means get the clarification from the interviewer. When you are sitting in the interviewer will ask any question from you, like tell me how many iPhone users are there in your institute, how many students are currently taking lunch in the peak hour, or how many coffee cups are consumed in the evening, or suppose how many DTC buses are there in New Delhi, how many petrol pumps are there in Mumbai city. But this is the question, but you need to get it clarified from the interviewer whether you understand the question properly or not. That is the first step. Second step is you need to structure your thoughts. Now, how you can structure it? You need to understand on what basis I need to solve this particular problem. What is the assumptions I need to consider it? Like I have to calculate any particular day, any particular hour, any particular gender, any particular segment of the people, how I can evaluate it. You need to structure down your thoughts, make assumptions, and get it clarified from the interviewer. Third is you need to decide which approach you need to follow, means analyze. Now this is a third level approach in which you need to understand how I can navigate to arrive at the best approximation step. And sometimes you need to go 2 to 3 steps much deeper so that you can arrive at the number. And lastly, you can consolidate all the assumptions and finally share the conclusion or recommendation that why you have arrived at this particular number and whether this number is correct or wrong. These are the 4 steps involved in solving the guesstimate. Let me repeat once again. Clarify the problem statement, structure your thoughts, analysis into your approach, and fourth, you need to conclude and share recommendations to the interviewer. But the golden thumb rule is you need to practice, practice, and practice. Then only you become master in solving the guesstimates. Let's see what is the approach you need to follow in order to solve a particular guesstimate. First of all, you need to understand the systematic criteria of the question or how you can deep dive into the next level. If suppose the question says that you need to estimate how many people can buy the CCTV cameras in the home. Obviously, None of the person has the paying capacity to install the CCTV camera. So you need to take assumption based upon the rural or urban also, means whether you want to get it installed in the rural area or urban area, geography wise. Or second, you can install with the help of gender split also, like male and female, or age split also, even income split also, because income is very important factor to evaluate the paying capacity of a person. And based upon that, you can easily filter out that upper middle class and upper class can afford it. And the last and most important is the willingness. How much people are willing to install this particular device in your home? So these are the factors you need to consider and evaluate in a systematic fashion, and then arrive at the best approximation to find out the right answer. Now, what is the quenching criteria? The first is you should not feel stressed during the interview. Every question can be solved, but with a free mind. Don't overstress yourself and don't feel uncomfortable. Just understand the question. Try to evaluate all the permutation combinations, take assumptions, and get it confirmed from the interview, and then arrive at your own framework. But one thing you need to remember is keep interacting with the interviewer, keep on asking questions again and again, and follow the 3 V's golden rule. That is voice, veracity, and vocabulary. Make sure you should communicate effectively and communicate in a proper manner. And lastly, you need to share the recommendations based upon your assumption. And it should be logical, realistic, and reasonable. So these are the certain tips, tricks you need to follow while solving the guesstimate. Let's have a look on solving one live guesstimate in this session. So the question is on the screen. Before solving the question, let me tell you what important figures you need to remember in order to solve any guesstimate. So these are the few facts you need to consider, and you have to remember these facts in order to solve any guesstimate. So few facts are there on the screen, like population, area, rural, urban, age, income, sector-wise, industry analysis, occupation, and literacy rates. So these certain numbers you need to mug up, and then it will helpful for you to solve any guesstimate. There is no shortcut for that. You need to remember it. And these figures are exclusively for the Indian firms. Means when you are sitting for the placement for the Indian companies, then these factors you need to remember it. Okay, so let's start our first question now, the sample one, guesstimate. The question is on the screen. Estimate the total number of people whom you have interacted with over last year. I repeat, estimate the number of people you have interacted with over the last year. Now this question sounds interesting. How you can solve it? Initially, when you arrive at the problem, first you need to get clarity from the interviewer. Remember the first step, to get the clarification. Whether I heard this question correctly or not. Get it checked from the interviewer. Means your understanding is complete. It's good. It's correct. That you need to evaluate how many people you have interacted with last year. Now, what do you mean by interaction? Interaction means the moment you establish the communication with a person, the other person also start communicating with you. Means you must receive the response from the other person. That only will be called as an interaction. If you send the message to the person and you are not getting any response, this will not be considered as an interaction. So you need to consider the bidirectional communication channel that will be considered as an interaction. Now, how you can solve it? Let's have a look on that. Let me open up the Excel sheet for you so that you can have a fair understanding of that. Let me share the screen. Okay, so the Excel sheet is now on the screen. Let's solve it. So what was the question? Let's write it down here. You need to calculate number of interactions per year. And what was the year? 2020. So this was the problem statement. So let it bold here and write it here. Now, how you can dig deeper into this particular problem? So what do you understand by the number of interactions? You need to first understand how many interactions are there. All the interactions in the world are classified under two broader verticals. First is offline interactions and second one is online. There are two broader categories. Now let me tell you what are these online and offline. Offline means which are completely face to face. Means when you are available in front of the person and then you are interacting with them. Online means completely tech based. Means with the help of technology involved, you are interacting with a person. So these interactions will be either classified as offline or online. Now let's go deeper and find out how many subcategories are there. Under offline, you have two categories are there. One is called as informal and second one is called as formal. Now, what do you mean by formal, informal? When you are following certain rules, procedures and guidelines, then it becomes your formal. And informal means when there is no formality required, then it is called as informal. So what type of informal conversation are there? You have informal conversation with your family members, with your friends, and rest will all be classified under as a strangers. So broadly speaking, all the informal conversations are based upon three different categories. Coming to the formal, all the formal conversations are classified into two broader categories. If you are a supposed student, then you are interacting with the students of the college or professors or faculty members or the staff members. Or suppose if you are doing the internship in any organization, then definitely you are interacting in the company. Or if suppose you are doing the job, then definitely the interaction will be happening in the company itself. So there are two categories involved in case of the formal conversation. Okay, so two categories for formal and three categories for the informal. Now let's have a look on the online. Under online, you have various categories. The first category is basically your voice call, when you are doing the normal voice call with a person. Second category, it will be, you can say, your video call, just like in COVID environment. Right now, you are dependent upon the Zoom call and Google Meet call like that. And rest is, whatever it is left, it is your social media. So there are three different channels involved in your interactions under online mode. So under voice call, how many categories are there? Let's deep dive further. In voice call, you have smartphone based call, normal voice call, you can say. That will be only category or subcategory available under the voice call. Under video call, you have three different categories involved. It can be Zoom call also. Majority of the calls are Google Meet call, and rest of the institutions are using MS Team calls. These are the three popular platforms, you can consider it. But in case of the social media, you have multiple parameters involved here. Let's have a look on one by one. First is your LinkedIn. It can be your WhatsApp. It can be your Instagram. It can be your Facebook, or it can be your Telegram. It can be anyone. So broadly speaking, you have 5 different parameters involved here in case of the social media. So now put the count here and start writing the number. Now how you can consider the count here? Let's take assumption first that you are considering the higher amount. Suppose in your family, you have total 15 members are there. So write the count as 15. Suppose you have a good friend circle. Suppose you have total 35 friend circle, count is there. So mention as 35. And rest everyone, excluding your friend and family, it will be considered as a stranger. Suppose in the last 1 year, you met with 200 strangers you have met in the last year. Now, coming to the college. Suppose if you are studying in institutes and your institute batch size is suppose 200 students for 1 year. Suppose you are doing MBA, suppose then for the second year, again, it will become 200. So 400 will be the total count. So let's mention as 400 as the total count. For company, suppose you did the internship and you are interacting with the 50 people of your department, then total 50 will be there as a count. Now coming to the voice call. Now here it's very difficult to evaluate the number of voice call made. So we need to take assumption here, like on everyday basis, suppose you make 3 voice call. On everyday basis, you make 3 voice call. So let's take 3 multiplied by 365 days of a year. The count will become as a 1095. Okay. Coming to the Zoom. Suppose in the last 1 year, you have attended 100 Zoom calls, and suppose 50 Google Meet calls, and suppose you have attended 60 MS Team calls. But here we are taking one assumption. In Google Meet, you have multiple participants are there, but I am not considering that participant. Why? Because in Zoom call, only the speaker is giving the session, but rest other participants are just listening. Hardly 2 or 3 people were able to ask the question and answer, but only those people will be considered as an interaction. But rest of the participants are completely silent. So let's take assumption that only one person is asking the question. Then it will be multiplied by the total number of calls which you have attended in the last 1 year. So for the sake of simplicity, I am assuming only one person is interacting with you during the call. So 100 Zoom calls you have attended, multiplied by 1, again it will become 100. Same is applicable for Google Meet and MS Team. Now what about social media? How you can tackle this? In social media, you need to take assumption first, how many contact lists are there in your account. Suppose in LinkedIn, you have 3000 connections are there. In WhatsApp, suppose you have 500 connections are there in total. Instagram, suppose 3000 connections are there, or in followers. In suppose Facebook, you have 400 people are connected with you. And in Telegram, suppose 200 people are connected with you because it is recently come into the market. Let's take assumption. Now take the total count. How much it comes out to be? It comes out to be total 9105. 9105. But this is the right number. It's a very huge amount, but it will be right. The answer is no. Why? Because it may be possible that few of the overlapping are happening, like few family members are also giving voice call to you. Few college friends are also making voice call, and they are connected with the social media, and they are also making voice call to you as well, and meeting in person also. So multiple overlapping also there. And second is, we have taken the assumption of total count. So this approach is not correct. Let's take another factor into consideration, which is called as probability. Means the possibility how much you have interacted with those people. In case of family member, the probability will be 1 because you are interacting in person. You are 100% interacting with you because these are the part and parcel of your life. In case of friend, you have a probability of suppose 0.7 because you interacted with 70% of the people and rest of the people were not available at your location. Coming to the strangers, yes, strangers, your probability will be 1 only because you are always interacting with them and the other person will always give the answer. In case of college, you have 400 students side, but are you interacting with all the students? No, the answer is no. So you are just interacting with just 30% of the people. Make it 0.3. Suppose company, you are interacting with 50% of the people. So make it 0.5. Coming to the voice call, it will be only 1 because call will be established only once the other person will answer your call. Same is applicable for video call also. What about social media? You are not interacting with all the categories of these platforms. Suppose LinkedIn, only 20% of the people you are interacting with. In suppose WhatsApp, suppose 10% of the people you are interacting on daily basis. In Instagram, suppose 20%. Facebook, suppose 10%. And Telegram, suppose 30% of the people you are interacting with. Multiply with those both. And then drag it. And then get the final number. This will now comes out to be as how much? 3040. But this is the right approach. Again, it is no. Why? Because overlapping also happening. Few people are common in both voice call, video call, and social media platform. So how you can evaluate this? So now you have to take assumption that at least 30% are overlapping in voice call, video call, and the social media. So you have to take markup of 30%. So multiplied with 0.7. So now the number you are getting is 2127. So now this number will be more realistic and reasonable, and that will be your count. So 2127 is, you can say, the final number of your guesstimate. So that's how you can solve this guesstimate. Now you look at this guesstimate, you have understood that structured problem solving is most important. The exact answer is not important, but structured problem solving skills is really important here. And that is being judged during the interview. Let's move back to the same slide once again. Okay, so we have seen that how we can solve the guesstimate, and it's very interesting, but you have to practice a lot and then only become the master. So if you want to develop the, if you want to become the master in this guesstimate, here are the couple of resources are there on the screen. You can refer any book, Case in Point, World Guide to Case Interviews, Case Interview Labs. These will create the basics of your guesstimates. And the real questions are available in Consulting Club Casebook, which is released by Tier 1B schools like ISB, IIM Ahmedabad, Harvard, INSEAD, and other institutes. Or you can refer to the courses which is available on the Coursera and other modes. Or you can watch the videos of the Victor Chang, Madman, and Shark Tank. You can refer anyone. So with this, I'm closing the session now. Hope you have enjoyed it, and feel free to connect anytime in case you have any query. Thank you so much.